Hey, it's Johara. Welcome back to my channel, to the Witchy Reader. And today I'll be doing a tag, 20 questions tag, inspired by Dark Rose Creation. So she's great. You guys should go subscribe to her if you already haven't. First, before I get into the tag, do want to say one tiny announcement about this a new series of videos I am planning. Um, I haven't decided what I'm going to call the series of videos yet. Um, but basically, each video I will be talking about a different um, underrated series. Underrated. I mean, everyone has their own like sides of what underrated really means, but basically books I don't really hear people talk about. At least through booktube. For the most part, but and I read a lot of underrated books, so because I never hear anyone talk about them except for, well, Harry Potter, obviously, because Harry Potter's like so not underrated, but because everyone understands how amazing it is. Moving on. um and then Shadow and Bone is an underrated, um which I'm currently reading, so those I know for sure will not be on one of these videos for this series, but I do know I'm gonna be starting this soon because I'm currently rereading my all-time favorite series, which is also one of the most underrated series ever, which is gonna be my first thing. Seekers, obviously. I'm currently rereading it, as you see, with one of my new bookmarks I got recently-ish. I like it. It says, "Books turn muggles into wizards." I love that. Um, uh, I haven't decided I'm gonna do one video or two for Seekers because technically Aaron Hunter writes their series in arcs. There's 6 books in each arc, but even though they're all part of the same series, they're also a little bit different. The arcs all have their own storylines and whatnot. Um, like and there's always 6 books in the arc. Like their other series Warriors, which I have not finished, which I plan to soon. I was hoping to finish it by the end of this year. Not gonna happen because there's way too many books, but I do hope to get it started, or at least reread what I've already read this year. Um, there's 42 books in the actual series, not including super editions, novellas, and mangas, and that's so far because the 42nd book technically hasn't come out yet. It comes out in November, but it's coming out soon. Um, and there's like 6 books in each arc, and same with and each arc has its own like series name. Like the overall series is called Warriors, but then like the first arc is called it's called the Prophecy Begins. The second arc is called the New Prophecy. Third arc is called Power of Three, and there's several more. I don't remember them all off the top of my head. I think there's like one that's the Omen of Stars, and then the Vision of Shadows. I think, I don't know. There's just several. Um, so and since they're all technically different and it will be a really long video to really get into every book of Warriors, I was definitely thinking about doing one for video for each arc, and then maybe one for these super editions and novellas and extra ones. I'm not planning on reading the mangas, but maybe instead of doing like one for super editions, one for novellas, I was thinking about doing, well, there's still a lot of books in the super editions novellas, so yeah, maybe I'll just do like one video each arc, one video for the super editions, one video for the novellas. Yeah, that's a lot of videos, but that way I can really delve into each one without the video being an hour long. Seekers, there isn't that many. There's only 12 books and 2 mangas, and uh, there's 6 books in the first arc, which is just called Seekers, and then the second arc is called Seekers Return to the Wild. And so yeah, I was thinking about doing 2 videos, one for Seekers, one for Seekers Return to the Wild. So I can really, so the video isn't too long, and but I can still get into all of it. So yeah, um, that was a longer announcement than I meant to. Oh well, let's get into the tag, shall we? This should be fun. But if you have any ideas of what I should name that series of videos, because I'm still not sure what I want to name it, then feel free to comment below for any ideas, and whichever one I like will win, and I'll pick it. And that's what the series name will be called. But we'll see for now. Let's see. Number one is, how many books do you consider too many books in a series? Obviously, since I just mentioned how many books Warriors has, there's what, 42 after the 4 second one comes out in the actual series, plus 13, no, 14 super editions, because the 14th one just came out the other day. And then there's several novellas and mangas. I don't mind long series. I don't. I love them long, as long as they don't go downhill, as long as you, if you start running out of ideas, find a way to close it and end it on a high note rather than dragging it out. But if you have a way to go on several books and make it still interesting, then by all means do it, because I do love longer series. I get to, because I love these characters and their relationships they formed. I get invested in them and I want to spend as much time as I can with them. So if you have a way to do a really long series without it getting boring or dragging on, then please, I would love to read it. Number two is, how do you feel about cliffhangers? Something went down my the wrong pipe. Oh, okay. Cliffhangers. Mixed feelings. I mean, yeah, cliffhangers are fun. I love writing them, but at the same time, when they happen to me, I want to know what happens next now. But I love writing them. Like in my Jasmine Press series, if you have if you don't know this by yet, I can't speak. If you don't know this yet, I'm also a published author, and if you're new to my channel, uh, I have them published on Amazon and Barnes Noble website. Uh, you can get them as ebooks and paperback on Amazon, and ebooks and hardcover on Barnes Noble. So that's fun. I love writing, and I have published 2 books so far, so you can find them under Jasmine Press and the Wicked Sorceress, or Jasmine Press and Another Realm. Those are the first 2 books. Or you can just do my name, Johara Harper, which might be easier to remember. The 3rd book is going to be called Jasmine Press and the Enchantress, which I have only 2 chapters away, 2 chapters left to edit, and then I'll be able to publish it within the next couple of days. So yay. But in the 1st and 2nd book, I left it off with a major cliffhanger because I love cliffhangers. Well, the 2nd one wasn't like a major cliffhanger, but it was definitely a cliffhanger. It keeps you intrigued and wondering what happens next. But the 1st one is a major cliffhanger, and there's actually a couple cliffhangers at the end. Like, you don't know what's going on with this character, and then this character, something happens to this character, and you're like, what? So yeah, I love writing cliffhangers. Reading them, not so much, because then I have to wait. Number 3, hardcover or paperback. I do prefer hardcovers. Uh, they're just I don't even really know why. I do love paperbacks as well, because I love hardcovers and paperbacks. Just prefer hardcovers because I only read physical books. I don't do ebooks or audiobooks, but I do respect people who do those, because I do know several people who prefer digital these days, and maybe I'm just old-fashioned. Who knows? But I love the feel of doing it physical. I can't do audiobook books because I can't handle someone else reading to me. When I was younger, sure, I loved being read to because I couldn't read. But now, no. I have to read it myself. I just have to. I don't get into it and invested. I don't get inside the story unless I read it myself. And then with ebooks concerned, I know some people can't do it because of eyesight issues. No staring at a screen. I know that's why my sister can't really do ebooks that much, and she also doesn't do physical books. she's not a huge reader though, but she has gotten into audiobooks a little bit. But uh but with ebooks, I don't know. I'm not also not tech savvy, and I'm not big on technology in general. To be honest, I am kind of old fashioned. My best friend and like her entire family say that I have an old soul. So I don't know about that all that, but apparently I have an old soul. So I do prefer things physical. They're just my style, but everyone has their own style, I guess you could say. Number five, no, four. Yeah, I'm on four. Okay. Favorite book. If you're if unless you're new to my channel, this should not come up any such shock. And luckily, I have it right here next to me. Are you surprised? Unless you're new to this channel, you shouldn't be, because I'm obsessed with this series. I mean, before I changed my name to the Witchy Reader, it used to my channel name used to be Seeker Books, after Seekers. Um, I love this series so much, and I find it hilarious that this is my favorite series and it's not fantasy yet. That's like my thing. Fantasy's my genre. Is what I mostly read. But then there's Seekers. I love everything about it. I love the characters, the relationships, and also one thing I love is that I feel like a lot of books and TV and everything focus so much on a relationship of some kind, a romance. And yes, I put some romance in my own books as well, but it's not the main focus. It's always a subplot because I can't handle just pure romance. But I just I love a good friendship, and I don't think they are done. I don't think people focus on a friendship as much as they should, in my opinion. Um, I do actually have a book, a story idea, um, about two people's friendship, and it'll be kind of like a forbidden friendship, kind of like forbidden lover sort of thing, because they're gonna be from two different worlds and they're not allowed to be friends. And I was also thinking about making kind of a enemies to friends, because they would, since they are on opposite sides, they immediately hate each other because they think they're supposed to, until something happens and they realize, and then they get to know each other and they're like, hey, you're not so bad, and then they friendship just grows and grows, but it never passes the point of friendship, because there's still there's literally going to be no other romance in this series. It's going to be a friendship only. And one thing I love about this series is that I just feel like they focus so much on the friendship between the bears more than anything. Yes, there is some romance in it. Um, uh, Especially in the second arc, because at the end, the last book in the first arc, uh, Khalik meets Yakon, and Khalik's also my favorite character. That's Khalik right there. Um, she meets Yakon, and they immediately hit it off. And then he does end up joining them for their journey in the second arc, because he didn't want to leave Khalik, which is so sweet. And I do ship them a lot. And Lusa does meet Miki, actually in the second book, right? I'm pretty sure it's the second book of this arc. But then they get separated and they reunite at the end of the second arc, and they admit their feelings for each other. And then Toklo also meets Ayana at the end of the second arc. And but so the main couple is Khalik and Yokon, because you get to see them for like 7 books, the last book of this arc, and all 6 of the other arc. um so you get to see a lot of them, and they are the main ship, definitely, and they're my favorite ship. But even though you even though they do focus some on them, obviously, since Yukon joins them for Khalik and all that, it's still about the friendship between these 3 bears, and Udrak, more than anything. Khalik, Lusa, Toklo, and then Udrak, who's also a grizzly bear. But it's about the 4 of them and their friendship and what they mean to each other, um, and I just love it. And I love how, and also it does also helps that I love Aaron Hunter's writing so much, and Aaron Hunter's definitely my favorite author. But yeah, so I just love how it focuses on the friendship more than anything, and how they're willing to die for each other, and how they're willing to always be there for each other, and their loyalty. And it's just amazing and breathtaking. And if you have not read this yet, please, I recommend it. I need people to read it. I have recommended it to someone recently. If you're into cozy mysteries, there's this Discord for it. Comment and I'll see if I can figure out how to get a link for it. But no promises, because like I said, I'm not tech savvy. But anyways, I met this one person who we ended up talking privately because her boyfriend, I can't speak. I give up. I'm done talking for the day. um, her profile is a bear, and so we started talking because I love bears so much, like so much. Bears are my favorite animal. Like if I showed you just that one corner of my room, it's bears galore. Plus there are bears in the living room because I have this whole area of my little knickknacks, and I have some knickknack bears, and I have all these stuffed bears just right there. And I'm obsessed with bears. No wonder my favorite series is about bears. But that's not the only reason why it's my favorite series. There's like so many reasons. But anyways, um, and I told her about this series since she loves bears as well, and I gave her a list of the names and Aaron Hunter's other book, Warriors. And I'm so happy that really hope she enjoys this because I need a friend who loves Seekers because I'm so alone on this. And I need more people to read it and enjoy and realize how amazing this series is. Because Warriors is still underrated, but it's still like more of the more popular of Aaron Hunter's books. Definitely is the one you do hear about a little bit more than their other ones. And I do love Warriors from what I've read of it so far. But I still love Seekers more. Seekers will always own my heart. Moving on from that long rant, I can't mention Seekers without getting into a long rant and trying to recommend it to literally everyone. I think I think I have an obsession. Oh well. Everyone has an obsession of some sort, right? Okay, number 5, least favorite book. I haven't actually read that many books that I don't like, since I do mostly stay in fantasy, and since see I don't read outside of fantasy very often. I am branching outside of fantasy a little bit more now, but fantasy will still always be my favorite, and most of fantasy I do like because I just do, I love most fantasy. But there there has been a couple that I didn't like, and for this I have to go with Twilight. That might be like a hit and miss for a lot of you. Like it might be controversial. Some of you love Twilight, some of you might hate it. I hate it. The books and the movies with a passion. Twilight sucks, and every time I mention Twilight or Twilight is mentioned, I get into this whole full rant about how much I hate it, and I just went to a rant about how much I love Seekers. So let's keep this positive and let's stop it at that. Okay, moving on. Um, number 6. Yes, yes, that's where I'm at. Love triangles, yes or no? No. No. It's my least favorite trope. My least favorite trope. So no, not happening. Hate love triangles. I've never read one that has been done well. There's only one love triangle I've ever seen that I didn't completely hate and actually could tolerate. And that wasn't actually from a book, it's from a TV show, Legend of Korra, which is the spin-off of After Last Airbender. The love triangle between Mako, Korra, and Asami I didn't completely hate because unlike most love triangles, um, where there's those two people that are fighting over that one person, trying to win that person like they're a prize, and then are hate each other, are always fighting with each other because they want that person. They both want that person. That didn't happen in this one. Korra was a little hostile with Asami when they first met because she had already had got a crush on Mako when Asami comes in, and then Mako's immediately smitten and they go out. But after Korra gets to know Asami, shortly after, the two of them form a close bond and they become friends and allies and they trust each other. And then, and even though Mako and Asami break up, so Mako could be with Korra, and then Mako and Korra break up, and he kind of goes back with Asami, and then not, and then just like that was a little bit of a mess. And that's another reason why I hate love triangles, because it feels like, the person, after the love triangle's over, they decide that they want to bring the love triangle at, and that person, like, love triangle's over, that person, the middle person chooses who they want, and then they decide, hey, let's bring that love triangle back because we need more drama. No, don't. Because then it makes that person seem so unsure, because they end up thinking, oh, what if I should have chosen this person? And it makes their choice not as special, because like they are, rethinking it, like maybe they chose the wrong person. And that kind of happens on there, which was a little bit annoying, but it made it not as annoying because Mako and Korra technically did break up before he went back with Asami for a short time before they broke up again. Um, and then Korra and Asami end up together, which I love because I ship them, and I feel like that works out a lot better because I didn't like either one of them with Mako. Korra and Mako are both way too hot-headed to ever work as a couple. They belong together as friends, and then Asami and Mako were just blah. And then, um, yeah, so that's the only love triangle I've ever seen or read or whatever that I didn't completely hate, because they were civil with each other, and it wasn't always a complete mess of them fighting over that person like they're a prize, which really gets on my nerves. And it's just love triangles I hate. It's my least favorite trope. Number 7, a book you're currently reading. I'm reading a few books. I used to never do that, read more than one book at a time, but now I guess I am. I know I'm in the middle of a couple series. I'm reading the second book in Shadow and Bone trilogy, and then I also have restarted, which you should know by now. I started rereading Seekers, and then I'm also in the middle of the series of A Daughter's Ransom. I haven't actually started book 2 yet, but I want to really badly because the first book left off a cliffhanger, and but at the same time, I'm like, do I want to open a third book? Do I want to start a third book? That's the question. And then it's also the third book in the Shadow Realm Chronicles, which I really want to read. Um, but I was like, do I want to start a fourth book? So I don't know if I'm gonna start them or just wait until I'm done with at least one of these. But even after I finish, there's 12 books in Seeker, so that's gonna take some time. And then with Shadow and Bone, even when I finish that, I'm gonna be reading reading Six of Crows with my friend Jessica at Lady Loves That Read, so go subscribe to her as well, because we'll be doing some live discussions about Six of Crows and King of Scars, because we're gonna buddy read them both. There'll be one live discussion on my channel, one on hers. So yeah, don't want to miss that. But yeah, so I don't know when I'll be able to start them, because Secrets is 12 books long, and then Shadow and Bone, after I'm done with that trilogy, I have 2 duologies to read right after. So who knows when I'll actually get to them. Maybe I'll just, pick them up and then read whichever book I'm in the mood for, you know? Just be like, which of these 4 books do I want to read now? And do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What, what am I on? I have no idea. Number 8, the most recent book you recommended to someone. Seekers, because I just recommended it to all of you. Seekers just keeps getting mentioned in this video. I shouldn't even be surprised at this point, because I always happen to. You'd be surprised how many times I'll be doing a random video that has nothing to do with Seekers, and somehow Seekers is mentioned. I have a talent for that. Let's see, number 9, right? Yeah, last book you read. No, I just did the number 9. Wait, I'm confused. Number 8, the most recent book you recommended someone. Number 9, last book you read. Okay, that's the same question. I don't think they meant to do that. Oops. Oh well. Secrets again. Number 10, oldest book you've ever read by publication date. I don't look at publication dates, so I have no idea. I wouldn't even. Yeah, I don't even know. Number 11, newest book you read by publication date. Again, I have no idea, because I don't look at publication dates. And a lot of times when I do finally read a series, most of the time they're usually they're usually never mind, just went blank. I don't know. I what was I saying? Oh, but most time when I finally get to a series, I the series is already over. And I don't do that on purpose. I'm sure some people do, so they don't have to, wait for the next book. But I don't do that on purpose. I just I I just don't get to that book on my TBR until it's already completed. Warriors isn't completed, but that'll take forever. Who knows? It might be completed when I get to it, or maybe not. It's gone on this far. Why not go on more? Um, Actually, I think I do know how the answer for the newest one at least. I have no idea for the oldest by publication date because I have no idea if any of these books, like, no. But with newest, that would have to be either Shadow Realm Chronicles, the second book, or A Daughter's Ransom, the first book. Because I haven't read the second book in A Daughter's Ransom or the third book in Shadow Realm Chronicles yet. But they both have been published recently, like really recently. But yeah, so yeah, I'm going with those. One of those, I'm sure is it. Number 12, favorite author, Aaron Hunter. Um, because most of the all the series that I have, I don't have one series by. I don't have any series. I'm saying this wrong. My words are just jumbled up. When it comes to authors, I don't do this on purpose, but I tend to only read one book series from them. I don't know why. Maybe just one series seems more interesting, and yeah, I don't really focus on the authors to be honest. I don't be like, oh, here's a new book from this person. I mean, I do have Shadowbone, Six Crows, and King of Scars, all by Lee Bardugo, but they're all from the same universe, so I don't think that counts. But but Aaron Hunter, I again, I'm gonna remember. This is my hidden talent. I can find a way to talk about Seekers in any conversation, in any video. I can find a way to bring up Seekers. That's my hidden talent to you folks. Oh my gosh. Um, Aaron Hunter. I've read both Seekers and Warriors, even though I haven't finished Warriors. Yeah, I do plan to, and I bought Survivors and Bravelands, two other series by Aaron Hunter, which I plan on reading soon, and I hope I love them. I love Aaron Hunter's writings and characters and friendships. Well, Secrets is mostly about friendships. Warriors, not so much, but still. The friendships, the relationships. I just love everything about the descriptions, the battle scenes, the. And one thing I love about it too is Aaron Hunter writes about animals. Bears with seekers, warrior cats, survivor dogs, and brave lands. It's actually a few different animals. Elephant, baboon, and lion, I think. But yeah, anyways, they Aaron Hunter really manages to get into the characters. I mean, yeah, a lot of others can do that, but what I mean by in this instance is that like bears don't know how when know things like humans do. They wouldn't call a road because how would they know that's what we call them? They don't even know that we're called humans. So they call us flat faces because of their stout. We have flat faces besides a little bump right here, but unlike their faces. And then roads they call black paths, and then zoos they call bear bowl, or at least the bear section of the zoo they call the bear bowl. Um, But yeah, so another reason why I just love Aaron Hunter. I love their writing, and it's just amazing and beautiful. And yeah, so Aaron Hunter's definitely my favorite author. Um, I'm 13. Buy books or borrow? I prefer to buy because I like to own the books because I do love to reread. So if I love it enough, if I end up just thinking it's meh or don't end up liking it, then yeah, I'll get rid of it. But like I said, most books that I pick up, I do think I love, and most books that I read and I end up rating either 4 or 5 stars. So uh, I do prefer to buy them because I will reread them if I love them, and most of the time I do love them enough to reread. So definitely prefer to buy. 14. A book you dislike but everyone else seems to love. I don't think I have an answer for this because I could go with Twilight, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people do hate it, and then a lot of people love it. It's controversial. Um, 15. Bookmarks or dog ears? Bookmarks. I cannot dog ear a book. I'm sorry. That's just wrong. Uh, and plus, I have a lot of bookmarks, and I love, changing up bookmarks. Number 16. A book you can always reread. Well, like I said, I reread a lot of my books. I mean, earlier this year, I reread almost every book I owned. Um, but one book I have to reread at least once a year, or I will lose my mind, is Seekers. Like I said, I just keep bringing this series up today. I mentioned it a couple times in my live show as well. I am obsessed. Okay, number 17. Can you read while listening to music? No. Um, when I read, I have to just plain read. When I watch TV, I can multitask. I can multitask with just about anything I do except for reading. I need to just read. Uh, num Where am I? Number 18. One POV or multiple POVs? Point of views. I like both. Um, I'm gonna go with both. I mean, as long as I like the characters. There is that one. What is it called? I almost said Skinjagger trilogy. Not that book. Stormmaker's trilogy, where it's under um two different point of views. The first book is under one, then the second book is under a different character's point of view, and then the third book is under both of their point of views from different chapters. And um, it was a little bit different because one character I did not like, so I didn't like reading about her as much. The other character I didn't like at first, but she grew on me. Same with her love interest. I didn't like him at first, but he grew on me. So that whole trilogy is just hit and miss, honestly, with these characters. But anyways, number 19. Do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? I read fantasy, and fantasies can be pretty big. So usually it takes multiple days, unless I can really just set aside an entire day. If nothing else to do, I can set aside the entire day and just read. Then I'm sure I could. But I did read both Seekers mangas in one sitting because they have two. But uh, my hair is all. I'm gonna have to fix my hair now. Um, Ow, my hair. Okay. Uh, but usually don't do them in one sitting because um, well, fantasy books are just so big most of the time, and but I don't read mangas, but I only read the secret mangas because uh they're seekers, and one of them was about Khalik, my favorite character, so I had to at least try them. And even I don't plan ever reading them again. They weren't bad or anything, but they're just not my style. But I still haven't gotten rid of them because they are seekers related, and I don't have the heart to get rid of them. I do have an obsession, but oh well. Um, but yeah, so I that's and then number 20. Who do you tag? I tag anyone who wants to do this. You want to do it? I tag you. I'm gonna have to fix my hair now. This is annoying. So yeah, I might just leave it down for the rest of the day. Ooh, my hair's all curly now. Yay, I love that. Every time I take a shower, my hair gets all curly, and I took a shower today, and then I put it in a braid, so that just made it even more curly. Look, it's so pretty. I'm sorry I got off track. I just love my hair. It looks shorter than it probably is because it was down to my waist, and then my mom cut my dead ends because they've been needing to be cut for quite some time. But it's still really long, and now it's all wavy, and I love it. Moving on. I don't know how I got to that subject. Moving on. Um, but yeah, so I tag you all. Please like and subscribe and comment. your answers or do this video. And if you have an idea for my underrated series video, maybe I'll just call that underrated series. Is that could work. Um, or just comment below, and we shall chat there. And I'll talk to you guys later.